Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, as told by Key. I am Key, and today is the first day of my new series, Killer Kids. Every Monday, I want to come to you guys with a different case of kids killing their parents, their friends, or whatever the situation may be. I find this stuff really interesting. It's strange because I spent a lot of time watching stuff like Snapped and I killed my best friend. Like, I watch a lot of like murder mysteries, ideas life. And so I just wanted to come to you guys and go over a couple of stories that I found interesting. And if you guys do like these videos, you can show me by giving me a thumbs up, commenting down below, subscribing to my channel, hitting that bell notification so that you guys know when I'm uploading every Monday. It will be Killer Kid Monday. That is what we're going to hashtag. So if you do not follow me on social media, start following me on social media just in case my little bell notification don't pop up. Because I've had people tell me that they hit the bell notification but still don't know what's going on. I don't know. So follow me on Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook. All of the links will be down in the description so that you guys can follow me so that you know when I am uploading on Mondays or any other day that I might upload, because you guys might get into some other videos. So it is Killer Kid Monday, and today we are talking about Gypsy Rose. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background before I get into the meat and potatoes of the story. She has a documentary on HBO that is amazing. I'm just going to give you guys the outline of it. I'll be here all day trying to tell you everything that I've seen in the documentary. Also, there's an episode floating around of Dr. Phil interviewing with her, same situation. I'll be here all day trying to give you all the meat and potatoes of that situation. So I'm going to give you guys the things that I think stick out the most. And before I go into this, I want to apologize and say sorry for the loss, because her mother did get killed. And also, Gypsy went to jail along with her boyfriend, Nick. So I do want to apologize to anyone in the family. I am not doing this video to disrespect you guys. Like I said, I find this stuff really interesting. And I don't want to offend anyone. So I wanted to say that before I started this video. So now let's just get into this really quick. So Gypsy had a really, really crazy upbringing. And if you guys see me looking up and down, I wrote down some notes so that I don't miss anything that I really want to talk about. Gypsy had a really crazy upbringing. She was in and out of the hospital a lot. Her name is Gypsy Rose. I'm going to keep her last name and her boyfriend Nick's last name out of it. Like I said, if you guys want to know more about the story, you can always go to HBO and find a documentary or look it up. Google it. Gypsy had a really crazy upbringing. She was in and out of the hospital a lot. It seemed like she was really, really sick. She was taking a whole lot of medications. When I watched the documentary, she was on 13 or 14 different medications. She was in and out of the hospital. And also she was relying on a feeding tube. Gypsy also didn't think that she could walk. So her mother had her in a wheelchair most of her life, if not all of her life. People thought that Dee Dee, her mom, they thought that Dee Dee was really, really loving and really caring. She appeared on a bunch of different shows, like local news stations. She was receiving a lot of donations from different charities and things like that. And everyone in the community believed that Gypsy was sick. Dee Dee did an amazing job convincing everyone that she was sick. Now, remember that I said convincing everyone that she was sick. Keep that in the front part of your brain. Dee Dee was murdered June 2015. He didn't give a specific date. She was murdered June 2015. She was found in her bed dead. Gypsy and her boyfriend Nick were both charged with first-degree murder. So let's get into why they were charged with first-degree murder. And like I said, keep in mind what I just told you guys about her mom. So basically, once Gypsy's mother was killed and Gypsy was charged, a lot of things came out about the situation, and Gypsy basically let everybody know that for all her life, her mom had not only been lying to her because she believed that she was sick, she also had been lying to her dad, her grandparents, and everyone in the community, all the charities, everything. She had been lying and abusing Gypsy. That is abuse, just in case people don't know. I know I talk about abuse quite a bit in some of my videos, but she had multiple surgeries that she didn't need. She was taking medications that she didn't need. Like I said, Gypsy was only allowed to walk around in the house. She was not allowed to walk around outside. Everybody believed that she needed a wheelchair, and that's the facade that her mother made sure that everyone believed. Gypsy was only allowed to walk around in the house. If company came over, Gypsy had to get back into that wheelchair, and she had to play along with whatever it is that her mother was saying. Gypsy had to believe that. Gypsy also was malnourished. Her mother wanted to keep her looking young. Her mother wanted to keep her undeveloped. So she did everything in her power to make sure that Gypsy just kind of always looked sick. Gypsy received multiple trips to like Disney and things like that because everyone always believed that, any day now could be the day now. Her mother got away with so much stuff. And a lot of people that's going to watch this video is going to probably be like, well, how did the doctors? Let me tell you something. I don't know any of the doctors' names, thankfully, but doctors, some of them, they will do anything for insurance fraud, not insurance fraud, medical fraud. Like that's a thing where you take money from the insurance companies and the doctors pocket it. They will put you on medications that you don't need so that, the insurance company can pay for the medication. Like it's a big thing. It's a separate video is what it is. So a lot of doctors were like playing along with the mom and like, oh yeah, she needs this surgery. She needs this medicine. She needs this wheelchair. She needs this. She needs that. And they were probably getting paid. The insurance company was just shelling out this money to this sick kid, thinking that this girl was like really, really sick. And the doctors were just chewing it up. Now, the thing was, Gypsy had her own personality. Gypsy enjoyed doing things. She would sing. She would like dance around in her chair. But her mother made sure that Gypsy never appeared too sexy. Keep in mind, Gypsy was 23 when she killed her mother. When her and Nick, backpedal. In the documentary, Nick did the killing. Gypsy sat in a room. She sat in a closet with her ears covered so that she couldn't hear anything. But she knew that Nick was going to go kill her mom. Yeah, so when I heard that, it kind of threw me off. But then as you start to hear more of the story, you can see how she had no way out. Gypsy had tried to run away multiple times. And her mother would always say she's bipolar, she's a little crazy. You guys know she has ADHD. Like she would think of any reason for the police to not believe Gypsy. There was a story that she told when she was doing the documentary saying that she was in the house and she had started kind of moving her legs. And it's like her mother took her hand and like, crushed her hand, like, to keep her in line. And so in order to keep the facade up, the community built a house for them and everything. I mean, her mother hustled the biggest hustle that you could hustle. And Gypsy suffered the consequences of that. She didn't get to go to school. She didn't get to really have a lot of friends. Gypsy never got to date. Like, to be 23 years old and in such an abusive relationship with your parent that you can't trust anybody because no one believes you. At another point, she had ran away. She was with this guy. This guy tried everything in his power to keep Gypsy away from her mother. And her mother found out where the guy was living, threatened him, and all types of crazy stuff. And so Gypsy ended up having to go back home with her mom. Her mom locked her up with chains and like these really big, heavy padlocks. And she left her in a room with like a pot to piss in and use the restroom in and everything like that. And that was Gypsy's punishment. So all of this started, like I said, it started when she was really, really young. I want to point out one thing. So, like I told you guys, Gypsy, Gypsy was 23 when her mother was killed. And she was just a teenager when when she was like 17 when her mother started like putting all the mental stuff out there too. Because at first it wasn't like that. It was just Gypsy was just sick, physically sick. It wasn't a mental thing. But when she turned 17 and started running away and started trying to get away from her, then her mother started like telling everybody, oh, she also suffers from this and this and this and this and this. And so Gypsy just really just would not let her. Gypsy just was shut down. Can you imagine somebody basically telling you that you can't speak for yourself, even though you can? Like, she basically told everybody her mental development was like really, really slow. Like on one of her birthdays, her dad had reached out to her to wish her happy birthday. And she was like, no, you can't tell her that she's that age. You have to tell her that she's this age because mentally that's where she's at. Like, you can't overwhelm her with all this information and just, and Gypsy knew that wasn't true. She was aware of how old she was. She knew all of these things. And so Dee Dee kind of, she conditioned Gypsy from a very young age. And so I can see the snap. You know what I mean? Like, as she gives us more detail about how her mother was abusive verbally and physically, you can just see the kind of like twist in the snap. So Gypsy got her hands on a cell phone and a computer, and this is where she met Nick. She met him online, and Gypsy admits that she knew that Nick had multiple personality disorder. Like, he would say it, and so she created all these different characters so that she could please him. And Nick had actually came to town once, and they went to the movies together, and the mother hated it. She did not want Gypsy to have a boyfriend. She felt like she couldn't trust Nick, like, you're giving him way too much. And so she kind of cut the date short, and Gypsy and her went back home. Gypsy was very, very upset about the date getting cut short. And so he had, like I said, he had multiple personalities, and Gypsy would create different girls to account for those personalities. He had one that wanted to be like a father figure, so she would play a baby. He had one that was like into BDM, and so she would like play submissive. There was another one that she said, and it just kind of went on from there. It was like an anime character. Like, Gypsy just kind of became multiple people so that she could please him. And so there was a conversation. Gypsy admits that there was a conversation, and she just wanted to be with Nick, and they knew that the only way to do that was to kill Dee Dee. And so they concocted a plan together. Nick was going to come. He was going to kill Dee Dee. And then after that, he was going to leave a ransom note stating that if they wanted to ever see Gypsy alive. So they tried to make it look like somebody came in, killed the mother, took Gypsy, and like they wanted all this money from the situation. And Gypsy sat in a closet while her mother was being killed with her hands covered. And I don't want to take sides here because none of this is right. None of it, not from either side of it. But can you just imagine someone just having their foot on your neck your entire life, telling you that you can't do this or this or this, and it's abusive. It's not just like a church girl whose dad is the pastor, and it's like you have to present yourself a certain way to the public because I'm a pastor or I'm the mayor or I'm the governor or whatever the case may be. This is someone that is putting you through surgeries and have you on all these different medications that have your head all messed up. So like the making of that, it starts to like twist to a place of, how do I get out of this? I've tried to get out of this 2 times. No, the one person who believed me, she's scared off. The police don't believe me. The community doesn't believe me. And she felt like she couldn't talk to her father. Now her father, his stance on all of this was he didn't know any of this was going on. He thought Gypsy was genuinely sick. And the mother would just move further and further and further and further away from the community and from people. And the way she was said is Gypsy just needs more space or whatever the case may be. She just tried to like get away from people because every now and again Gypsy would slip up. Gypsy would get caught walking around and people would see things and call the father like, hey, I seen this or I seen that. And so the mother would catch wind of it and then she would move further and further and further out. And so just imagine being isolated and the way your mind starts to warp. Like, I cannot sit in silence for more than like an hour. Anything over an hour of just quietness, like my thoughts start racing, my heart starts pounding. Like, I just have to find something to make noise. I will start tapping my hands. I will start clicking the pen, whatever it is. So I can't imagine being isolated my entire life. And not only am I isolated, there's feeding tubes in me. There's medicine being pushed down my throat. There's people telling me that I'm sick and I feel fine. I don't get to be a normal kid. I don't get any of that stuff. And so I believe Gypsy finally snapped. And because her boyfriend had multiple personality disorder, that's what they say. He had multiple personality disorder. He had all these different people kind of like, in his head. I can see how easy it was for him, who believed that he was in love with her, to go along with the idea of being together the only way to kill the mother. So Gypsy, she spoke about a lot. She spoke about the sentence. She spoke at the sentence, and she spoke on the documentary. Like I said, she spoke on the Dr. Phil show, and she is hurt that her mother is dead. And it sounds crazy to hear her say it. When she said it, I kind of looked at her like, but she said that she loved her mother, and she said that she wished that if she could do it all over again, she wouldn't have done what she did. And Dr. Phil was like, do you feel like, he was like, what did he say? He said, do you feel like you made a mistake? And she said, yeah, she loves her mom. She loves her mother. And I just wanted Dr. Phil to kind of like tell her, I don't know. I don't know what I wanted Dr. Phil to tell her. And I don't even think he would be allowed to tell her that anyway, because it's like what I'm thinking is like you've been abused your entire life and you felt like this was your only way out from that abuse. And now that, everything is what it is, I don't know. I don't know what I wanted Dr. Phil to tell her. Hell, I don't know what I would tell her. Because a small part of me is just like, you had to survive. And then another part of me is like, it had to be someone you could talk to. But her mother had everyone so fooled. Like, it's so sad to see someone that's that sick in their own head that they not only isolate their children or their child, you have the entire community, like food, the police, the doctors, the ones that tried to question her. Excuse me, y'all. The ones that tried to question her, there were several doctors that tried to question her. I'm about to put my glasses on. Oh, excuse me for a second, because I realize I'm reading, straining my little eyes. The doctors that did try to approach her and did try to talk to her about the situation, the mother would get very upset. And she would just try to find another doctor that was willing to go along with whatever it was that she was saying. And she always managed to do just that. She always managed to find someone that didn't have a conscience or didn't care or whatever the case was be. And they would do unnecessary surgeries on this girl. So let me say this. In 2016, that's when the documentary came out. In 2016, Gypsy Rose case was a subject on a HBO documentary, Mommy Did and Dearest. Mommy Did and Dearest. Or Dearest. Dearest. Sorry, y'all. Mommy Dead and Dearest. That was the title of the documentary if you guys are looking for it. It's called Mommy Dead and Dearest. They interviewed also with Dr. Phil, which I told you guys about that also. Gypsy also did an interview with 2020. I didn't see that one. In recent interviews with 2020, Gypsy Rose shared her horrifying new details of her mother's abuse. She was physically chained to a bed. I told you guys about that. She had to put a bell on the door so that Gypsy couldn't go in and out the house. I didn't tell you guys about that. So Gypsy did explain in the documentary, I don't know why they say these new details, because she did say that her mother would put bells on all the doors so that she could hear Gypsy kind of moving about the household. She put bells on all the doors and told anybody that she said, I couldn't tell anybody about the truth because my mother felt like they would not be trusted. I told you guys about that also. She said she also didn't trust anybody because she thought that people would go back and tell her mother, and anybody that would go back and tell her mother, then she would be punished. So Gypsy just tried to like walk as narrow as she possibly could throughout this entire thing. And her dad, oh, I felt so bad for her father when he spoke. He said if he didn't have even a little bit of an inkling that was going on, he'd have went and got Gypsy. He was kind of like questioning things and asking about things, but the mother would like always kind of brush him off and like make him feel stupid, like a deadbeat dad. And so he didn't get to see Gypsy as much as he would have liked to. And of course, that's the mother's fault, with Gypsy being sick and him being like a working father, he wouldn't have been able to take Gypsy. So he kind of just stepped aside and helped when he could. Once he found out that all this stuff was going on, it was already like little too late. And he said in his interview that he wished Gypsy would have just reached out to him. He'd have believed her. Also, Dee Dee's family, her stepmom and her dad, they believe that, Gypsy did a good thing, oddly enough. They believe that, Dee Dee was capable of killing, and they felt like, Gypsy shouldn't have been punished because of everything that she had went through as a kid dealing with her mother. They felt like she had been punished enough. I don't know. Like I said, her mother was a mess. Her mother would go days without feeding her. It was just so bad, people. And Gypsy is up for parole. I'm going to tell you right now when she's supposed to be getting out. Let me see if I can find it. I saved it in here somewhere. Gypsy is going to be getting out of jail, and her father said when she does get out of jail, so she was sentenced 10 years in prison. So, and Nick hasn't been sentenced. He's still awaiting a trial. So his trial is going to be in 2018. But he pled not guilty. He arguing he killed Dee Dee to free Gypsy. So his whole thing is he was just trying to help his girlfriend. He knew everything that was going on. Gypsy had confided in him, and he feels like he didn't do anything wrong. But I'm just like, Nick, I don't know, man. Like I'm so torn on how to feel. You understand what I'm saying? Like I don't know how I feel. I feel horrible for Gypsy. And at the same time, it's like you took a life. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. You guys, this is going to go way too long. I didn't want it to go that long. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of detail about that situation. Gypsy Rose, like I said, I don't know how I feel about it, but you guys tell me how you feel about it. Comment down below. Do you think that she should go to jail? Do you think that maybe they need to find a better solution for her, like maybe putting her like in a psychiatric ward and working with somebody? Because I have to imagine mentally she's just not where she's supposed to be. She basically got her life taken away from her and she's been stunted ever since. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the story. It's really sad. A person lost their life, and two people are now in jail, basically losing their lives over a decision that they felt like was the best decision that they could make considering the circumstances. So you guys sound off down below. Do you like Killer Kids Monday? Let me know in the comments, because if you guys like, I mean, I'm going to keep doing it, but I'll definitely go like harder for it every Monday to bring you guys like, things that we may have not even seen on the news before. If you guys really enjoy this series, I will go super duper hard for it and bring you guys all the best stories that I can. So comment down below. Like I said at the beginning of the video, thumbs up this video, hit that subscribe button, and I love you guys. Let me know how you guys feel. Seriously, I love interacting. I want to know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go be great today. Love you.